only was your time on Rikers not being counted towards the 97 days that you had been sentenced to, but you're being subjected to potentially these very additionally unsafe conditions with many known cases of COVID-19 and coronavirus at Rikers.
Yes, we're exposed to all that. We don't even have the proper, like I said, we don't have the proper PPE equipment, medical staff. Horrible.
How did you cope? I mean, I know that's an impossible question. I mean, not that you can cope with something like this, but do you have any reflections or messages from the people who are inside right now? You yourself having been just released, I understand, just this morning. We're glad you're out, but what's your message to the people inside, or what's your message from the people inside in this moment?
Don't give up. To don't lose faith. Keep hope. Hope is on the way.
Okay. And I think that's a powerful point, Aziz. Maybe that would be a question to kick it back to the rest of our virtual panel here. I mean, to have hope and help is on the way. I mean, where is the help? What needs to be done right now in light of the brutal role that the state is playing, even the so-called liberal wings of the state right now? Maybe we can go right through our virtual panel. You know, what can people do right now? What can people do right now, and what must we do not only right now, coming through this crisis and beyond? Maybe two different sets of what is to be done. What can be done right now? These people on this call, these people, their organizations and networks, what can be done right now, and what needs to be done beyond now, looking forward?
Okay, this is Jose.
Yeah, Jose.
Yes. What the people in our community can do, especially those who have loved ones that are incarcerated, they have to keep on calling, emailing, galvanize support for Governor Cuomo start doing these mass clemencies, and for the parole board to start maximizing their release process. Decarceration is the only way that we're going to minimize those dying in New York State prisons. And there's another thing that they can do. Moving on, they can also call their senators and assemblymen and tell them to pass the elder parole bill and the fair and tiny parole bill. Had these senators and assemblymen passed these two bills, we would not be in the deadly predicament that we are in today, because less people will be in prison, because the elderly would have been released, and everyone appearing before the parole board will be released, and we would have had less people in New York State prison system for this disease to kill. So the two things they can do is get on Governor Cuomo and stay on him to pass, to start granting mass clemencies and start releasing people on parole supervision, and for our senators and assemblymen to pass these two bills. That is a sure solution to ending mass incarceration in New York State.
Thank you, Jose. And that's Jose Saldana with RAP, the campaign to release aging people in prison. It's interesting that Governor Cuomo has been in the news nationally a lot with his daily New York press conferences, right? Getting a lot of praise in contrast to President Trump and company's handling of this crisis. A very visible figure. I wonder what could be done to put pressure on him through phone calls and even public protests at some of these meetings he's holding on national television. Johanna Fernandez, let's go to you next with questions of what can be done both immediately right now and what can be done in a more structural sense. Also, I want to point people to the chat box. We will be sharing links to some of the call to action that people are mentioning, both in this chat box and on Facebook, on our Shelter and Solidarity Facebook page. Johanna Fernandez, please.
So I think that we have to expose Governor Cuomo for doing less in supposedly a liberal city than has been done in terms of decarceration across the country. New York City and New York State are not in line with the numbers, the numbers of people who are being let go in other states, and we have to ask why. I went to a demonstration at an ICE facility, by the way. That's something that has to be mentioned, that there are innocent people detained in in ICE facilities, immigrant detention centers, who are dying right now, who are being infected and are being sacrificed. So I went to a car-in one of the cities in New Jersey, I can't remember which. And essentially, we circled the prison and made a statement. Approximately 100 cars drove to the facility and honked the horn. It was a profound action of solidarity because the prisoners in this ICE detention could see us and they were waving to us and putting signs up. It was a very, very touching moment. I think that we need to show up wherever Cuomo is. We need to do a car-in at Cuomo's house. We need to demand, we need to do a car-in at the homes of major journalists so that this is front page on CNN. This is a human rights catastrophe. This is a situation in which deaths, thousands of deaths are foretold. And history is going to judge us. If we look at history, change comes about through mass militant action. That's the only thing that politicians listen to. And we're in a difficult situation because we're holed in, we're sheltering in place. But I think it's going to take a new generation of radicals and organizers to figure out how to pressure the system under these conditions. I also think that we need to connect with the super exploited working class at Amazon and beyond, because a lot of those workers who are protesting, a lot of the nurses who are protesting in places like Jacobi Hospital in the Bronx and at Elmhurst, their children, their cousins, their fathers are also incarcerated. And so I think that we need to appeal to the working class, disproportionately super exploited people of color, to incorporate the release of aging prisoners into their workplace demands for safety, and to make more ventilators, as GE workers protested about. It's a difficult moment, but yes, we need to make calls. But I think it's time to use our cars, those of us who have them, to make a statement and to stop the operation of, say, Mario Cuomo's press conferences. So it's really the moment for people to join forces. Another thing is that the time is over for the small little grouplets to be operating separately. I think this is a moment for networks of organizers and activists together and figure out a strategy for how to take a stand amidst mass deaths by.
Yeah, I mean, powerful points here. I want to point out, Johanna, we had planned to have a organizer on the immigrant. Just found we had too much to pack into an hour, so we will be doing specifically on the immigrant centers soon, perhaps within a couple of weeks. So thank you for that. Highly visible governor, but also the high-profile CNN anchor who's broadcasting from his basement, perhaps range on the telephone. Rashid, Johanna covered a lot of territory, but what do you think inside and outside Fernandez's analysis? Okay, we may have lost Rashid as he pointed out of prison. So let's open. I think this would be a good time to open it